Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WEC Grand Finals. And indeed, we are starting. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit. I'm joined here by quite a few faces, and we can introduce them here momentarily. We've got myself, of course, in the studio, and then 4 bums who couldn't be bothered to turn on webcams. Actually, Qojqva volunteered too, but we have Brax, of course, from Navi US. Fogged, also of Navi US. Misery will be joining us here as well. Misery, I guess you're still standing in for Alliance, and that will leave Qojqva, also of Team Tinker. So the one player who didn't make it in was Winter. Winter's here, but didn't get a picture. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Excited to have you here. This is, of course, the WEC Grand Finals, and it's a very new format. I haven't seen this before in a Dota 2 tournament, but we have a best of 3 of best of 3s. So the way it works is EG will be at a winner's bracket, or rather, Cloud9 will have the winner's bracket advantage. They have 1 best of 3 in the bag. Cloud9 only needs to win 1. EG need to win 2, and the winner walks away with roughly $90,000. The loser, around $30,000. So a lot of money at stake, and it's going to be potentially 6 games for EG if they're going to take this one. And with that being said, guys, great to have you here. This is where you say thanks.
Oh, thanks. I like Qojqva's picture on the stream.
My cat out. I'm pretty mad.
Yeah, we're starting early, it looks like. The admin said as soon as Hearthstone ends, we will begin, and it went to a game 5. Apparently, the guy who had the winner's bracket advantage took it, so as a result, they had a lot of time in case it went long. Yeah, some dude. Tides of Time, your old friend, guys? Or
wow.
Fogged in
my old
particular?
teammate. My old teammate.
What am I doing here? I could be playing Hearthstone.
Yeah, and you get to keep all the money. You don't
though.
have to split it with your team either.
That game is really difficult, though, so, I mean, props to
And you gotta draw the right card.
It's tough stuff. But yeah, guys, with that, let's kind of talk about how this tournament's developed. It's been a rather paced event, I guess you would say. We've basically seen in a matter of 2 days, they've run through the entire bracket. I'd say it's similar to like Star Ladder's format. You don't have a group stage, but similar number of games, and yet 2 days, there are a lot of games going on at once, so people may not have been able to watch all of the games, but we've had EG drop down very early in the bracket, and they've made a big run since then. They dropped down directly to Vici Gaming, and they have made a run all the way to the Grand Final. So it kind of reminds me of their performance at our tournament, the Summit, where they did not do particularly well in the group stage, but they ended up bouncing back. They won every single match, well, every series, not every single game, and eventually beat DK in a best of 5. So it's a different team now. They've got Fear instead of Mason, and they looked a little shaky at first, adding Fear to the squad. But with all that being said, what are you guys' thoughts? Let's start with Fogged. Fogged, EG coming into this match, they have the confidence of having kind of had to do it the hard way. They're the last team to have won a game coming into the Grand Finals. Cloud9 had the easier road, and also has a new face in Fada. But Fogged, what do you think about the teams coming to this match? Do you have a favorite, and how do you see them matching up with their new rosters?
I don't particularly have a favorite. I mean, both teams have been playing pretty well, but EG are coming out of like what, a 10-game win streak, I think. So I think they're gonna have a lot of confidence. So I think I have to be giving it to EG right now.
And you would say that even though they have to win 2 best of 3s as opposed to just 1.
I think we're going the distance.
All right, that's pretty confident. Brax, how about you? Do you see a team that like matches up better, a clear favorite in this series, or do you think it's pretty even?
It's gonna be a long night for you. I think EG's gonna win.
You're not staying with me, man? You promised. No.
I'm supposed to stay up?
Yeah, you have to watch all the games so you can analyze them.
Oh, I've been tricked. I thought that I was here for like 5 minutes and I can go back to feeding in pubs.
This is the bait and switch. I'm like, yeah, just come on for the pre-show. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we need you to stay for 7 hours. But Misery, as for you, do you think even matchup? Do you see a favorite in the series?
I'm not really sure. From what I saw the other days was that EG and C9 basically outdrafted the Chinese in almost all games. So I think it's gonna be really close. I don't know what they have prepared. They pretty much picked the same kind of heroes, so it's gonna be fun to see.
Could you elaborate on like how you think they outdrafted them? Is there anything in particular they did better, or?
Like one thing that comes to mind is the Chinese still value Rasta really highly, and I felt like both teams just punished Rasta completely by putting Twin-Head Dragon dual lane, off lane, and just there were many ways they did it. But Rasta never really had the impact that the hero needs. Like the new hero needs the first 5-10 minutes
Yeah, and we even saw like the Tuskar pick from EG in their first game. It didn't end up working out, but they ran that as a dual lane with Jakiro, and that's kind of been an emerging trend. Is we've seen teams in this tournament, especially the Western teams, have been running a lot more dual lanes. Do you guys see any particular reason for that? Qojqva, any thoughts on how kind of laning has evolved in this tournament?
Yeah, you see a lot more like offlane dual lanes right now. EG has been running that a lot, like THD, Tuskar, things like that. So yeah, the safe lane is definitely like more pressured now.
Do you see it? Like, is there any? What's the benefit to doing something like that? Like, what is the goal with that kind of a laning setup?
It's just being clever. Like if you do stuff that's unexpected to the enemy, like you're gonna throw them off guard. So it's always good.
It punishes dual lanes too, like Lich dual lanes mid. You just offlane dual lane against that, and then the carry can't farm, and then you have to help him.
It's something we saw a lot of out of Vici Gaming at TI, was the Sylar morph lane with the Lich dual lane mid, and some of the other Chinese teams ran it, but I think to me, like, Vici was the team that, when they ran it the most effectively. So, looking at the draft, guys, what would you say are the most important heroes to you for each team? And I guess, like, starting with EG. Like, you look at EG, what are the heroes, like, if you can keep them out of EG's hands, those are the most important ones to remove, besides, like, the obviously really strong heroes that we've been seeing banned. Brax, any heroes that you would just want to take away from EG that you think they've excelled with in this tournament?
It's hard to say. There's so many good heroes, you know, that something gets through. I think they just play well with everything, pretty much. I don't know. I guess Death Prophet and Razor would be the hardest to deal with.
Yeah, and those two heroes have been generally banned in most games, not just with these two teams, but we have seen some RTZ Death Prophet, and often when EG get it, I'd say more often than not, it's on the dire side, and we see it with the Faceless Void for Universe occasionally, though they haven't favored it as much as they were at TI. But aside from Death Prophet, Razor, which are kind of like the go-to heroes for a lot of teams, anything else, Misery, that you would expect to be worried about if you're Cloud9 facing EG?
I don't know. Like Brexit is really hard to say. That there's so many good heroes. I don't think that's the way to go about it. The more about what do you want to play with against what to give away, like in that sense. But I still think you need to ban Lycan, kind of, unless you have something special prepared.
Which EG actually did. They gave Lycan away in one of the series in this tournament, and then they just destroyed it in the laning stage. It was the Zai Batrider, and they ran a Darkseer for Universe, and they basically got Zai a couple early levels, and then they just dove the Lycan support Shadow Shaman, killed him under the tower, and just they didn't let him farm.
Exactly, that's also what I meant. You know, they have Lycan, but they also have this Shadow Shaman, and that hero kind of does nothing the first 5 minutes if you do a lane off lane with some strong heroes. So they both games against Newbie, they just punished that hero completely with dual lanes, and like they could never really come back. Okay.
Lycan, a hero that normally is banned, and I guess since you mentioned, Misery, that it's more about like what you want to do. What would you say, like, for Cloud9? What do they want to be doing in these games? When I've watched them historically, they seem to excel when they kind of spread the map, but they have added Fada to the team, and he's kind of a different element compared to Sing Sing in some ways. And what do you think Cloud9's greatest kind of approach to the game will be?
That's a good question.
Do you have an answer?
Well, I think I think they just need to. Yeah, I don't actually know specifically what they're gonna do. They gotta win the game, man. That's the most important thing.
Did you even watch the games?
I did, but like I don't know. I didn't watch that many Cloud9 games actually. Mainly the EG ones. But one thing I can say about C9 is that I think Fatsa gives them a new dimension in terms of communication in game. As I know, he talks a lot, and he has a lot of opportunity. Like he sees a lot of opportunities, and wants to do things in the game. Whereas I think in the past, Cloud9 has been lacking this a little bit, where sometimes they just keep split pushing when they don't need to and stuff like that. So I think potentially he could be the factor of the success, or if they're gonna win tonight.
Yeah, and K-Pop-Tosis has just brought up to me that the Death Prophet has 100% pick ban rate in this tournament, so it's a guaranteed hero to go through. Is that just about, I mean, the two obvious things that jump out at you are ability to take towers and ability to take Roshan. Are those the main reasons to worry about that hero? And if you are going to give it away, what should you be looking to do to kind of punish the Death Prophet picks?
It's just an OP champ.
OP
Good
champ.
at lanes,
Yep.
pressures your other laners. Is fast hero later on. I mean, you just gank him as soon as he hits 6. Basically, you want to kill him as much as possible. I don't know.
So
If you
looking
if you
for
keep
some
him down in the beginning, it's pretty easy to, I don't know, shut him down. But yeah, it's tough anyway.
So like kind of aggressive roaming supports early on. If like let's say you're Cloud9, you give that away to RTZ, or maybe the Bone 7 Prophet, try to dive him under the tower. That type of thing.
That's something that you could do. I mean, the hero is really weak level 1. He has like 280 move speed or something like this. So I think he's definitely possible to shut down early on. But if you don't shut him down, like he deals the most damage of any hero, I think, in the game. It's actually kind of stupid how much damage he deals. You can't get used to it.
It's just the fact, on top of everything, that it's physical. It's like, or mixed. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, he just kills everyone.
Yeah, and it seems like generally the teams that get the Death Prophet, it goes late. At some point, it's just, you know, it's kind of like the Tiny, where if they get to your base is dying unless you can kill them almost immediately, and the buildings just start to melt. So, yeah, Death Prophet's been an important hero for both teams, and I guess I don't really see it getting through unless the team's getting a trade. Like, we've seen that with the Lycan pick. When EG gives it away, they get a trade as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to... I'm looking forward to seeing if any team like gives a hero like that away. Like we've seen, I don't know, teams kind of catching their opponents off guard with those types of picks. And yeah.
Well, I think the Furion with the Blade Mail is quite good against it. You know, he just goes in and suicides and tries to kill DP. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that build has really come out of nowhere. Like you look 3 months back, nobody was running Prophet that way, but all of a sudden, it's all the rage in the European pubs, and now in
Who actually
competitive
started
play.
it?
Yeah, who started that? I'd like to know.
There was
that.
like one public
Oh,
guy,
God.
one Russian guy who started that, and no one.
Do you want to find that guy? And
Oh man, I want to kill him.
Yeah, I don't like that guy either.
it
Or
seems like a
what a build.
misunderstood build in pubs, especially. Like it's very strong if you know what you're doing with it, but if you're not, there's been games where it's like, man, this Prophet just can't do anything after the 15-20 minute mark.
New Prophet then.
Yeah, speaking of Prophet, that has been, I think, one of Bone 7's most impressive heroes in this tournament. And I mean, I guess on that note, Bone 7, he was a player that there were doubts surrounding him in terms of his ability to perform on LAN, at least for the casual fans out there. But he delivered big time at TI, and he continues to deliver here in China. A player that's, you know, he's had haters, but well, he's impressed on the Prophet, and I'm interested to see if they keep on running for him, if EG will give it away.
Wait, so if it's 2 best of 3s and
Yeah.
C9 has the 1 best of 3 advantage, right?
Yeah, C9 has a best of 3 advantage, and EG has to win 2 best of 3s in a row to take the series.
Okay.
Yeah, so at least 4 games. Potentially, they've got to play more if they're not able to take it in a clean 2-0 sweep. Yeah, it could be 2 games if C9 take 2 in a row.
I want to see Warlock in the first 2.
Yeah,
for
that's
C9.
something AUI 2000's been running quite a bit.
Hero's so good.
Yeah.
And
That's
C9
an
often
OP
pick it
champ.
early too. Like it's not like they're hiding the Warlock pick until late in the draft. They just
No.
jump on it right away. In some cases.
It's strange too. I mean, I've been kind of saying it for a couple of weeks now. I was talking to AUI about it a little bit too. Just those two skills are just so powerful. His heal and his slow.
Yeah, and he just skips Fatal Bonds entirely, which there was like a phase like 5 months ago where it seemed like, you know, there was people were talking about how like OP Fatal Bonds was or how ridiculously strong it was, and now it's upheaval. And he goes for a unique build. He goes for an
The
early
big
Blink
thing is
Dagger.
though, it's different though because he's playing in the support role. So it's like a lot of times you see these core warlocks, so they have like fatal bonds. But with it being able to just stand there and use upheaval because you're a support, like is pretty nice. Like you're not a core, just standing there upheavaling.
Yeah. So you think that the upheaval build is more viable just on support Warlock, and if you are core, you get the early ags that you maybe look to level up Fatal Bonds first?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I think even if you're mid Warlock, it's better to get upheaval.
And any chance that there will be a return of the mid Warlock, Brax, do you think?
I hope not. That hero is too good. Sucks to play against. He's like Panda. If he presses R, you just lose the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I saw Vici Gaming, I think, and they played against EG's Warlock, no, sorry, not Cloud9's Warlock, I believe, at one point in this tournament. Maybe it wasn't Vici, but someone played against it, and the way that they dealt with it was they just never really took the fights. Like, they always had Sylar off split pushing on Morphling. or no, sorry, it wasn't VG, it was LGD. And then they also had someone else who was playing the Ember who was split pushing the other lanes. They just kind of prevented Cloud9 from grouping, but whenever they were able to take fights, it did not go well.
It was like one, I think it was like one Infernal used like the whole 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that like he used it twice in the first 20-30 minutes. So they just didn't get to 5-man at all.
Yep.
One thing I do want to ask you guys, do you think there's any chance of level 1 rush? Your Cloud9, if you manage to take, like, let's say you take game 1, it's game 2, you win that game, the series is over, you have a little bit of insurance, even if you end up losing this best of 3, you get to go to another one. Level 1 rush, any chance of that?
They did it at TI, so shit, I have no idea, man.
I think it'll be more like a bait kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Where they don't go all in for it, but if they can win a game off it, they'll go for it for sure. They only need to win 2 games, so yeah.
On the Chinese stream, we have a halftime show right now. This is... I'm not sure what I'm watching, but...
I can imagine.
Oh.
Yeah, this actually, and that is a topic worth discussing, is... Brax, Misery, you guys have played in China for LGDN, and they take their esports like to the next level. They have this stuff. They made you guys a G League do the introductions.
This guy's going ham.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he's a rubber.
I'm not sure his limbs are controlled by his body. He's like Jello. It's impressive. Yeah, what's it like? What's it like being in China where they just have like this? You know, it's not just like show up, play the games, get your normal introduction, play some cool music as you walk on stage. Like, they do the introductions. They have, like, they film you a lot before the tournaments. Misery is... Do you miss that about playing in China? Like, that particular aspect of it?
To some extent, I miss China. But, like, just playing the tournaments there is fun, of course. But, I mean, if you want to know how it is to be in China, this is what you see on the stream, that's what you see in real life. I mean, this is how it is.
This is just walking down the street in China, you get this.
Yeah, this is everywhere.
Yeah, they're just dancing in the streets.
Prime example.
I wonder if you can see Phone 7 in the background just staring at him and kind of chuckling. He's like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but it looks impressive. And the crowd is not giving a standing ovation out here, but as the teams get ready, guys, and I think Game 1 will be starting fairly soon in this best of 3. Of course, it could be 2 best of 3s, depending if Cloud9 take it. I kind of want to go around and just, each of you give me just one key to the series for you, like one hero that's important, one player to keep an eye on, a particular strategy that you could get caught off guard by. And Brax, I'm going to start with you. So for either team, what is the one thing you're going to be looking for as we jump into Game 1 soon?
I want to see if C9 has any cheesy kind of strategy to like try to win a game, because they only need 2 games to win. So if they can easily win something like that, you know, because I think in like a straight 50-50 game, you're just gonna straight up win. I think they play better, and I think C9 is really predictable. So if they have something sneaky like that, then I think that's it'll be good for them.
So something perhaps like the Drow Visage, except like along those lines, where it's just when they first started doing it, it was kind of new. But I guess now it's predictable to some extent for them. Those types of strats.
I'm looking for something more along the lines of like a Warlock.
Okay.
Something like that.
Just Warlock.
Yeah.
Qojqva, how about you? What's your like your key to the game? One thing that you kind of have your eyes on as we're waiting for just one player to join the lobby here.
I want to see the return of Father Troll with mech. That'd be nice.
You know, I was
just
saying
have a
that
push
the other
strat
day.
with that. Yeah.
And
Nice.
I think he's obviously good for pushing towers. The early mech allows your team to fight, but these teams are really prioritizing Roche right now. And it seems to me like Troll is quite good for that with his ultimate. So Fada Troll, something to keep an eye on. It doesn't seem to me like it's a likely ban from EG. If Cloud9 want to run it, it's probably going to be available, at least through the second stage. So that's definitely an option. Misery, key to the game, something you have your eyes on?
I think the draft is going to be really, really interesting. I think the one hero that's going to be really important is Twin Head Dragon. I think we might see that guy even being banned in first phase or something like that.
First phase, really?
You stole it from me, man. I was going to say that too.
Potentially, yeah. Both teams are abusers of that hero. So that's going to be fun to see.
Well, what exactly about Jakiro? Like, is it just Liquid Fire?
I think he's just so strong in lane right now, and the way teams are playing, and then at the same time he's this pusher that you can't really deal with. He just you kind of have to initiate on this hero because he goes up and attacks your tower all the time. And at the same time he's really tanky and he goes to this Eel Scepter build and stuff. It's just really hard to deal with the way the game is played out right now.
The one thing I noticed when teams pick Qojqva is that hero's just very tanky. Like when I think it was Cloud9 ran EG with the Tuskar Qojqva dual lane, like that it takes a while to bring that hero down, even at level 1. So makes them pretty formidable in the lane. And Fogged, your idea was stolen, so you got to give me something here.
Well, I was just gonna say Qojqva Furion, on either team.
Okay.
I think just the combination of those two heroes is really disgusting as well.
Do you think we see Furion even make his way into like the first phase bans, or?
No, I think there's more important heroes.
What heroes to you are like the more important ones? Like there's Lycan, Death Prophet, Razor.
Doom, Lycan, Razor, Death Prophet. Those are the big 4.
Any team fight controllers that you think should get first phase banned? Tide's been kind of slipping lately. Doom has been in and out. Void has been a little bit less popular, even for EG, who ran him a lot at TI.
Maybe Void. That's probably the one that maybe C9 will ban, because I mean EG runs it pretty damn well.
Okay. And guys, how anyone else? Is there like a team fight controller that you'd be most concerned about giving away? No.
Not really, but I think we're gonna see Naga.
Naga?
Support
RTZ
carry.
Naga? Or do you think we see that support Naga?
I think it's gonna be either EE or support.
How about Pugna?
I don't... he's strong hero.
Okay.
The Void is really falling off now because people are playing Naga Siren against Void, and they just song and reset the fight every time you Chronos.
He also seemed like yesterday I saw a Naga just kind of, it doesn't own him in lane, but as a support, it's quite difficult for Void to harass the Naga. Just runs up, riptides you with the early poor man shield, like trades blows pretty effectively if there's a +1 in the lane. So it seems like Naga does pretty well against Void, even in the support role, even before she gets her ultimate. At least to kind of discourage him from getting aggressive. And yeah, you compare that to like if Void's getting harassed by one of these squishier supports that we do see sometimes in the laning stage, and where you get a bash, you maybe can force them to salve up or retreat, but Void just doesn't care. And with that, guys, we do have 10 players in the lobby. We're going to start soon. Any predictions? Who's going to take it? And I want to hear a score as well. And Brax, starting with you.
I already said it.
Who already said it?
Me. We said it before, didn't we?
I think,
No, for the whole series, predictions.
Wow.
I don't think
like 2-0 for the first game for EG, and then 2-1.
So EG takes it 4-1.
Yeah.
Fogged? You said EG earlier as well, I believe?
Yep, but I think 4-1 is pretty reasonable to say. I don't know if it'll be... I think probably 2-0 the first... I don't know, that first game of the day for our tour, but... Alright, I'll still say 2-1. I'll say 2-0-2-1. I'll say 2-0-2-1.
Okay. Do you think we'll have an RTZ warm-up game to kick things off?
Maybe.
A
He's
release
been playing.
game,
I've been seeing him playing all night, so I don't know. He's been pubbing.
Misery?
I think C9 will win one game in the first series still.
Man, nobody believes in Cloud9.
I don't know, they only need to win one best of 3 and that's a bit boring, right?
Okay. So you guys all just want to be hipsters and...
Yeah, let's go to like the last possible game. And then
blue.
And then C9 will take it.
Well, I mean, I will say the Dota 2 launch bets, if they're not closed yet, like I would definitely be betting on EG because it's only 45 to, or no, to Cloud9 because it's only 55 to 45, and they only have to win one best of 3. So, I mean, to me, that's a big advantage to have in a long LAN final. But no, maybe I'm just going with the easy bet. And Qojqva, as for you, what do you think? Who's going to take this series? Qojqva.
Cloud9's gonna win, I think.
Cloud9? So you're a Cloud9 believer. What do you think is going to allow them to take it?
Yeah. At least in Fada, I believe.
Uh-oh. I think
I agree
losing
with
Qojqva.
whatever he said.
Robot.
My Skype was lagging, but
That sounded fantastic. It was so smart that we couldn't even understand it. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, it looks like we're going to hop into the game momentarily. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will be live with the first game of what could be a very long day. EG versus Cloud9, potentially 2 best-of-3s. The WEC LAN finals continue after this. Stay tuned.